all right. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. So, what's up, guys? Today we are sitting here with a living, breathing woman. This is a real woman. I hope so. And today's topic is going to be spicy. We're going to talk about dating, or I guess like advice for men, because this is our opportunity as men to ask a real woman, what the hell is wrong with men?
What?
So there's a lot of guys out there who they're saying they can't find women. It's hard to meet women. They're just not having success in the dating world. And you're a woman. So I think you could give some insight to like why are guys struggling out there? Or if somebody says they're struggling, like what can they do?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with men that's not wrong with women. So
I like that.
I appreciate your question. However, I think that the real question is what happened to each individual that is causing them to behave in certain ways. And so I feel like when it comes to the health of a person's mental, I think that's one of the main reasons why people mess up in relationships, is because if they're not seeking therapy, then they're just kind of holding things in. Not to say that everyone needs therapy, but I do think everyone needs to make sure that they're checking in with themselves mentally, because you can't just dump your crap on the partner.
No, you're right. Like a lot of men turn with their women into a therapist.
Yes.
Like you're telling this stuff to your woman who you should be telling that stuff to your therapist.
Right.
It's not attractive for a man to dump all their problems on a woman.
It's not fair either. And it's funny, there's a meme on Instagram where Catwoman finally gets with Batman, and then I think it was like Poison Ivy. She was like, "Ooh, how was that night with you and Batman?" And then she was like, "He cried in my arms all night." And they showed a picture of like of Batman just like, my dad was. I think when people don't pay attention to what's happening on the inside, they truly just ignore themselves. And then when you ignore yourself, that turns into you ignoring everyone around you, because you're not sensitive. You become insensitive to your own feelings. And then that makes you become insensitive to everyone else's feelings. And people can feel that insensitivity. And so I think the best way to become a more empathetic and sensitive person to your partner is to first be that for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think all that's valid. So you actually kind of flip the whole thing. So it's not just men, it's people in general.
Yeah.
Could all use some pointers.
Yeah.
But we'll pick on the men. We'll continue to pick on the men.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for one, when I see a video of somebody complaining that they can't meet a woman, already that's not healthy. I feel like already that the whole mindset behind it doesn't sound healthy. And then I'm kind of like, well, no wonder, because you have this sort of, like just negative. Yeah, it's like a negative mindset. It's like, oh, nobody likes me, nobody's interested. Well, with that attitude, nobody's going to be.
Yeah, so, exactly. Mindset is really everything. Yeah.
So, like, what about red flags early on? So, okay, you meet somebody, or maybe there's like potential interest, and then you had to shut it down because there was just big like red flags.
Yeah. I think the red flags the older you get, the more they become more obvious. Because when you're younger, the red flags are just screaming at you and you're not even paying attention. You're just like, he's so cute. But like, it's clear once things hit the fan, it's like, oh, well, he did do this and he did do that. So I think red flags need to be a must in anybody's head when they're like really examining someone and getting to know them. Because I think here's the thing, like with men and women, I know a lot of people who have kids with their exes, and so the kids kind of like are getting older, but the older the kid gets, the more tense their relationship of the mother and father get. And so I think there's something to be said about like making sure that you suss out the person for a few years before you decide that you're just going to have a child with them.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it's easier said than done, like with, protecting yourself, right? Because when you're in the heat of the moment and you really like a person.
I don't think most people are planning the kids. I think they're just having them.
Right. But I do feel like if you think in the moment, like, okay, would I have kids with this person? Like, if you wouldn't have kids with that person, put on a condom.
I mean, it's a good point because, dude, that, like, even as a man, I cannot imagine dating a woman with a kid.
Yeah.
I just can't. That's not for me.
Yeah,
that's not for me. I mean, I barely like kids. Like, I would probably only like a kid if it was my kid. Like, I don't even like.
I barely like kids.
I really don't. I mean, damn. So
we're more similar than I thought. It's like I can be around kids. Don't get me wrong. I think kids are the sweetest. I have nieces and godsons and goddaughters, and I think visiting them is a wonderful thing. Like, they're so sweet and adorable. However, it feels so good to say goodbye.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't deal with the kids. But back to the relationship and how a man can be better for his partner, whether that's a man or female or them, they. I feel like in general, people need to truly know what makes them happy, and not try to either make your happiness come from,
your partner.
From your partner or from doing things for your partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you genuinely have a life that you like, then you're only going to add to someone else's life if you have a passion, So I think before you get into a relationship, really find like what it is that your goal in life is or your mission in life is. Because if you don't have a mission in life, you're just going to be around somebody and wasting their time, wasting your time. You're not finding your purpose, so you don't know why you're there in the first place. So I think when you know your mission in life, then you can really find people who have that same mission, and then sort of work with that person and grow and build with that person, and y'all on the same journey, But yeah, if you don't know that, then y'all both just lost souls.
So it's like a lack of motivation, because that's something I see a big thing is like a lot of guys just don't have motivation. They don't have that that drive, and I feel like that's a big thing. Like that attracts women to you when you have a drive, whereas like people are like moping around and stuff, and they're like, I'm depressed. I don't have direction in my life. That's like not selling that's the worst way to sell yourself, especially to a potential like partner. Like women are gonna run, like that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to men out there, again, who are trying to find a partner, they're not having success, maybe they're just being rejected one after the other?
I think it really does have to do with figuring themselves out.
And like, would you say looks, like how important is looks and money to you? Because a lot of people will say it's because I'm broke, it's because I don't look good. I
think that's all surface stuff. I think when you figure out what you want in life and who you are as a person, you're gonna start to look the way you want to look. You're gonna start to have the finances you want to have. You're just working on yourself. Really work on yourself. Be so happy with yourself that you look in the mirror and you like, man, look, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proud of me. I did this. I am this person that I actually love. And once you really feel like you good, people are just gonna flock to you.
Yeah. No matter what you look like, because you can just feel that energy.
Yeah.
And you can see the same person, and they can look really good, and then if they're in a bad mood or like their aura is like completely different, they won't look as good.
Exactly.
And I've seen people who you might not consider like beautiful or whatever, but it's like their confidence, their personality is so engaging that it like sucks you in.
Exactly. No, I agree. Yeah. One time I left a guy because, well, both times actually. Two guys. Damn. Three guys.
All right, so this was what is it?
Okay,
It's
so
got to be big.
all three of these guys had anger issues.
Okay.
Like bad.
Wow.
Like it was like they didn't know how to control their emotions. They were just almost so unstable that I was afraid at one point.
That's not good.
Yeah, and I'm like, I ain't finna be in no, DV situation. Like this is not. And I didn't. And the thing is, I'm from Brooklyn, so I feel like I could tussle, but like I'm not trying to sit here and tussle with nobody that's supposed to be protecting me. You know what I'm saying? And they never put their hands on me, but the way that they would raise their voice and like throw stuff and like get aggressive, like they was like some type of like monster or animal. I was like, oh no, bro, it's not it. That's not it. So that has a lot to do with just pent up energy. Like it's kind of sad because I didn't say this in the beginning, but a lot of like men aren't. We already know this. Men are not encouraged to let their emotions out.
Have you ever dated a guy who had money and just sucked? His personality sucked or just didn't work out?
Yes. The guy with the anger issues. Yeah, that guy. I mean, he thought it was cute to like buy me a $3,000 phone, just because he wanted me to match him, and I was just like, bruh, like you must not know me, because anyone who knows me knows like, why would Sakinah want a $3,000 phone, and so I was just like, $3,000 phone. I mean, I got student loans. Like you want to make me happy, like, you know what I'm saying? Pay off a student loan. And he was like, oh, word. He calls his friend up. It's like, yo, my girl's mad finance conscious, bro. She told me to return the phone and pay off a student loan. And I was like, yo, like, duh.
That's really hilarious. I cannot believe.
No, but I mean, that to me is like more responsible. And it's also like, what am I gonna do with a phone? Like I have a phone.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you just wanted me to like, I felt like he was trying to turn me into a mini him. Like he would buy me clothes that look like him. And like
that's, I don't know.
And he even bought a $97,000 RV. $97,000? Do you know I'm a filmmaker? Do you know what I can do with $97,000? But yeah, and I realized, okay, you bought the RV for yourself. He claimed he bought it for me because, you said you wanted to travel on a plane. Like, not driving around the country. I don't care about this country. So, like, he was over there washing the RV, making it look all nice, buying all this furniture. I'm like, I don't care to, like, live in a car, bro. Like, some people would love to do that, but if you know me, I like to be warm. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing having me in a car? So, yeah, no, you just got to know your partner's love language. It seemed like his love language was gifts, right? But let's say if your partner's love language is touch and time, don't be throwing gifts at a person, because you could throw all the gifts you want at this person, but if their love language, if the only way they're going to feel love is touch and time, then that's really what you need to do. And yeah.
I was going to say, a lot of women just want time. I've noticed that.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of women who want gifts too. Like, but you got to know your partner's love language. There's like gifts, touch, time, and words of affirmation. And I think they have a couple more that I can't even think of right now. But you need to have that conversation. Like, how do you feel loved? Right? How do you feel the most cherished, the most seen, the most paid attention to? And if they say, your time, your energy, your love, that's touch and time. Like, they need you to be there. They don't need you to just say things. But if it's like, I need you to tell me how you feel, then it's words of affirmation, but you have to know your partner's love language, or else you're going to just be giving them something that you think you should give them.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good point. But that's if guys can even get through the first step, which is the date. That's the thing. A lot of the guys can't even get to the date, get on the date, get through the date, and get to the next date. That's tough.
I feel
That's tough.
It's very tough.
So like, what's a reason that you went out on a date with a guy and you just was like, this is not going, or like there's not going to be a second date?
That's a good question. Definitely, somebody who's like overly sexual or like overly, like talking about looks. Like, I think I've been out on dates and damn, you fine girl, and then like, you know, all they could talk about is, oh, I love your eyes, I love your smile, and it's like, is that all you saying that all night? They just keep repeating the same. You know what I'm saying? Like is there anything else you notice?
I have a brain too, right?
I've been
thoughts.
telling you about my goals and my dreams this whole time.
You got nice eyes.
It match with your ass. Nice and round. But like,
that's actually pretty. I'm going to use that one. That's a good one.
Don't use that, please. The hell? No, but like, just pay attention to people. Listen, like, tell them your dreams, and then make sure that the conversation is back and forth. I've decided to not go on another date with this guy when I realized he just could not stop talking about himself. Like, he was like, yeah, I would say one thing. I would say one thing. I'm like, yeah, like he would say, oh, I noticed, you did this, and he's like, I like what you did with this little thing. This, and when somebody says like your little film, like, okay, bruh. He's like, oh, I see you do the little acting stuff. That's cute. That's nice. That's nice. You mad talented. I like your voice too. You got a beautiful voice. It's like, thanks. And then like, you're like, yeah, I used to do music, back in my day, one time. And then he's like telling a whole story about him and like, I don't know, Eminem or something like back in the day. Wow. And I'm like, really aged yourself. But but like, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. Oh my God, that's really cool. And he's like, yeah. And then it's like, oh wow, that's great. And then and man, I need to tell you the story this one time. And it's like, that's great. For real. Like, I think you gotta just be attentive, and you want to compliment a person, but don't overly compliment. Mm-hmm. Just everything needs to be balanced and reciprocated. Like, read the room, reciprocate her energy, like mirror the person a little bit, as they say. And I think that'll get you some points.
Okay. It's all valid. What about like dating apps? Like, so you're on a dating app. What are like big just things you see on somebody's profile and you're just like, no. Like what makes you press yes?
That's a good question. What makes me press yes? I mean, seeing if they seem stable. Mm-hmm. Like they have a stable job, stable hobby, like their stable hobbies. Like, it doesn't look like they're like just like looking for a thrill. Mm-hmm. But they do, their hobbies sort of complement mine. If they're handsome, that helps, or just look like they take care of themselves, know? Yeah. Because you don't got to be the finest person in the world, but if you look like you feel like you fine, then I might feel it too, No,
it makes sense.
And what else? Someone who is thoughtful in their little blurb they write. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if you like have a certain like level of detailed orientedness in describing yourself. You're not just like looking for a good time, or looking for someone that could change my life.
You're looking for depth.
Yeah,
like depth. And you just want to get a
personality, character. Yeah.
A lot of people are like two-dimensional, mm-hmm. kind of flat, and so it's like, what are you bringing to the table? Like, what are your interests? What do you do? Mm-hmm. And some people it's just like, I work, we play video games. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to meet a woman. That's all. If that's all your resume has on it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we got some good stuff. So I guess like the biggest takeaways, men, or people in general, I think we need to separate therapy from our relationships. Do not be putting, there's like, you're giving, some people are giving too much information, too much of themselves to, and just unloading their problems. That's going to turn a lot of people off, I guess. Just so yeah, just like have a purpose in your life. So I think if you're on a path and you're like, you have your goals and you're trying to do something, people will be attracted to that. Versus if you're just showing up and you're like, nobody likes me and I can't find a girl, and you're like stuck and you're not moving towards something bigger, people are not going to want to get on board with you.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Women are attracted to a man with a mission. So
there it is.
Yeah.
Have a mission.
Yeah.
Women like men with a mission.
Yeah.
Be on your mission. And that mission, what is the mission? Is to be your best self. It's to unlock your full potential, financially, spiritually, healthfully.
And your mission has to be more important than anything. Like literally more important than her. Like, to be honest, like a woman can sense a man on a mission, and the mission is like literally the end all be all. Yeah. Like if she's not on board with your mission, then she gonna have to kick rocks, you know. And she wants to know that your mission is that important, that, you know, you're not gonna put everything before her, or sorry, you're not gonna put her before everything, because then you're a pushover. You don't have a backbone and you don't have a purpose. So, and a woman wants to know that, because that shows discipline. That shows a level of self-understanding and higher purpose. Like, it shows that you have a connectedness to yourself that nobody can break. It also makes a woman trust you more, because when you're on a mission, you're not just out here in the streets. You know what I mean? She can trust that you're going to focus on just your mission, the people you love. You're not going to be like following somebody else's ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is what makes a man is when a man knows his mission and is about that mission.
Knows their boundaries, and people actually respect you more when you turn people down, or you say, no, I can't, I have this thing I have to do, I can't see you, you know, Friday night.
Right.
Women they actually respect that.
Yeah, I highly respect that.
So, all right, guys. So take it. This is from a real living woman. All right. This is a woman that we're sitting next to, and she has shared her thoughts with us. So we thank you for that.
Thank you.
We'll continue. I will definitely keep bringing you on and picking your brain.
Thank you.
All right.
And I will appreciate another video, because this is fun.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's a lot of fun, and yeah,
right.
It's been great.
Cool.
So, all right, guys, we're out. See you on the next one. I swear to God, it stopped recording. No, it's on.